Weapon customization has been out for a while now. I've slept approximately 17 minutes since it came out, and I've upgraded tons of weapons. Today, I want to break down top 3 must-have weapons that you should be upgrading as soon as possible. Let's start with the Reprimand. Now, I'm going to quickly go over this, but if you want an in-depth video about all of these guns, all of those are on the channel. Make sure to check him out, where we take a look at the recoils and everything and the differences between attachments. The attachments for the Reprimand are going to be iron sights. Then you are going to go for the vertical foregrip, and on top of that, you are going to pick up the flash hider. Depending on the factions, though, I do like to swap these around. So, for example, I pick up the compensator because I get a little bit of a more horizontal spread, which makes it feel a little bit better against the bugs. Now, the reason you want to pick up Reprimand is that it opens up a lot of options for build crafting. It's not just effective because it does 125 damage per shot and it's medium armor penetrating. Those two things are very important, don't get me wrong. But if you're looking for a weapon that currently is very consistent with the spread changes and with the attachments that I just went over, then this is going to be the one for you. In my opinion, right now, Reprimand feels better than any AR I've tried so far. It really does. One thing you want to keep in mind is that even when you're using an AR, ARs aren't those weapons that you're going to be scoping in and taking out enemies far, far away. The point is, you're still fighting at that close to mid-range with the ARs. And guess what? Reprimand, it has more damage per shot at the moment. It feels good, and with the right attachments, it just does not move. It becomes a laser, and it becomes very easy to control. And as mentioned, it's medium armor pen, which means that, for example, if you're fighting the bugs, you don't have to worry about the medium armored enemies at all. Meanwhile, if you're using an AR that is light pen, for example, even though you might have a drum mag on it, it's not gonna feel as good. And even if you take the Liberator Penetrator, which I fully upgraded and we have the review on the channel, I feel like it's a pretty solid AR, as I said in that video, but compared to Reprimand, it just doesn't perform. And the reason for that is pretty simple. Reprimand does 125 damage per shot, meanwhile Penetrator does 60. And yes, it does have way better ammo economy, but that damage just comes in handy a lot of the times. And when you're trying to focus one enemy down, such as a commander or a medium armored enemy, or even if it's a spewer, whatever it is, taking them out in a few shots feels very, very nice. So essentially, if you enjoy ARs, if you enjoy SMGs and so on, this is the weapon you want to upgrade first, okay? And as mentioned, it will give you the ability to build craft around it more, simply because of the fact that it's medium armor pen. So you can fully use the stalwart, right? The second weapon obviously is going to be the Eruptor. For the scope, you need to run iron sight because we're focusing on the ergonomics as much as possible. And the next attachment is going to be angled foregrip. Guys, what can I say? Eruptor is one of those weapons that you just need to have if you're playing Helldivers 2, okay? And it's not just because of need in terms of, oh, you can't complete this mission or that mission. Obviously, you can complete any mission essentially without a gun if you really wanted to in this game. But the point is, you need it if you really want to have a good time and want to have fun, and if you want to destroy your enemies. And by the way, no matter which faction we're talking about, if you're playing against the bots, this thing is an animal. If you're playing against the bugs with the right builds, this thing is a beast. You're closing down bug holes. You can deal tons of damage to Bile Titans as well. It is a spewer killing machine. But currently for the Illuminates, dude, this thing melts. It deletes targets. I'm talking meatballs. I'm talking harvesters, ad clears, zombies, whatever it is in front of you, you are going to be taken out. Now, keep in mind, this weapon has been buffed when it comes to fire rate. The shrapnel has been reworked once again. Keep in mind, this does 455 damage, and it's explosive damage. The fact that you can run this, for example, with a Stalwart, with a flamethrower. Stalwart and Eruptor right now, or medium machine gun, that's a very powerful combination. It's very hard to beat that combination. Ammo economy feels great. The only thing is probably the reload and how it acts when you swap weapons and you're swapping back to the Eruptor and now it's pulling the bolt. And yeah, that can be frustrating, okay? But apart from that, there is zero downsides to this weapon. For me personally, this is the best weapon in the game currently. And and I'm just having a blast build crafting around it and just creating really fun loadouts no matter which faction I'm going against. And the thing that this brings to the table is something that probably not many other weapons do at the moment. And once again, it all comes down to build crafting. Essentially, you have a primary weapon that can deal tons of damage, but it can also close down bug holes or destroy the ships on the Illuminate side. And when it comes to the enemies as well, like if you think about it, chargers get absolutely destroyed as long as you're going for that tail or even the back leg. The explosion still gets to the tail and you can take him out pretty easily. If you're trying to take out Hulks on the bot side, as long as you're hitting the weak spot, you're taking him out pretty quickly. And when it comes to the Illuminates, it's literally crazy because you can stagger or stun lock, for example, the harvesters while dealing damage to them at the same time, and it gets you very easy kills. The same goes for any enemy on the Illuminate side in general, including stingrays and whatnot. So yes, it is on a different level at the moment. So if you're thinking to yourself, dude, what is that one primary weapon that will change the game for me in terms of build crafting and overall performance? Eruptor is that weapon. Now let's talk about one of my top favorite weapons, the Scythe. Do not sleep on this weapon. For the attachments, for the scope, you can go for whatever you want. Angled foregrip is what I'm running. And then finally, we're running high capacity heatsink. Let me explain why Scythe is so good right now. It is all connected to the fire changes and obviously the new sync that it has received, which means that you can essentially keep firing Scythe for a way longer period of time. Now, the reason this is important is because the longer you're shooting this at the enemy, the longer they stay on fire and the longer they're taking the tick damage. Now, for all the people that do not know, fire scales differently at the moment, which means that the heavier the enemy, the stronger the enemy, essentially the bigger the enemy, the more damage they take from fire ticks. Like I've been doing a lot of solo runs at max difficulty. We're talking full clears. And when I pick up the Scythe and, for example, the laser rover or the gas rover, I feel like against the Illuminates, I'm invincible, man. Like if I don't make some silly mistake and I just don't play my cards wrong, and or I don't get one shot by a Leviathan 700 meters away, yeah, it's very strong. Even with meatballs, you can melt them down. You're having a good time. You're taking out tons of enemies. It's just a very strong pick because of the new sync and the fire changes. And if you haven't upgraded yet, this is one of the weapons that you should focus on. Like, once again, if you ask me, Pip, what are the best weapons that I should go for first? Now, these are my favorite 3 weapons out of all the weapons that I've upgraded. But if you were to ask me what should I upgrade next, I would 100% go for the incendiary shotgun as well. That thing right now is an absolute monster, and all of those fire changes also applies to that weapon. And with the new attachment, it feels incredible. On top of that, I think another really fun gun right now is the Knight. If I was to add a bonus, I would tell you go upgrade the Knight as well if you do have this weapon. Knight fully upgraded feels awesome. Very, very underrated in my opinion. It is an absolute beast. The fact is though, it is behind the other edition of the game, so I don't know how much it costs right now if you wanted to like get that edition, if you have like the basic one to unlock this gun. But if you do, I'm going to quickly go over the build for you. For the sights, you can pick whatever you want. Then for the grips, it's going to be the vertical foregrip, and you're going to go for the flash hider as well. And finally, the extended magazine. And the combination of all of these things will give you awesome recoil, both vertical and horizontal, and it's going to be much easier for you to land the shots. Now, where the Knight shines is it's a light pen weapon, but the fire rate is so insanely high on this weapon that it makes up for that. Like if you're fighting against anything that is light pen, you're going to be deleting it. Like your weapon goes on dead. Like it's just too much fun. And even if you forget the effectiveness and whatnot, if I was to tell you one bonus weapon, I would still tell you the Knight, because it's something that feels different from the other weapons simply because of the fire rate. It's an SMG. It's very light in your hands, and it just feels good to have so many shots per magazine, and absolutely deleting everything in front of you sounds good. But for the first 3, yeah, those are going to be the weapons that I would advise 100% to invest your time into. Okay, that's it. I just quickly wanted to put out this video for a lot of you guys that are probably just now, little by little upgrading your weapons, leveling them up, and you're thinking, man, hope I'm not wasting time, all that kind of stuff. This is what I think is you should be going for. And keep in mind, you also need to have fun. And all of these weapons are really fun and offer some really cool loadouts. If you guys did enjoy this one, and only if you did, slap a like, sub to the channel. I got more content on the way, so stay tuned. As always, stay positive, stay disciplined, and I'll see you all on the next one.